Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, everybody in between and all over the world, things are heating up. They're getting awfully serious. That's right, it's that time. Business to conduct, battles to be fought, and the new era of Ultimate in the Open Division, perhaps to be written into the history books, as two titans of their respective countries lock horns. Tchac, Tchac taking on Wall City from Berlin. I am Lorcan Murray, and it is my indescribable pleasure to be joined by the one, the only Ravi Vasudevan. Ravi, come on. You've been in France, you've visited Germany, and you know more about Ultimate than basically anybody, apart from perhaps the Wall City coach. Tell us what you're feeling right now.
Very, very excited for this one. The almighty algorithm predicts this one to basically be a dead even draw. Just 36 ranking points between these two teams. Haven't faced each other that much since what I would call the Conrad Schlor era of Wall City, where they really took their team to another step up. They played each other, I think, at Worlds in 2022 once, and maybe once or twice at Tom's Tourney, not full-strength teams. So, though these two teams are both top-end talents in the Open Division in Europe, not a lot of reps against each other. I think it's going to be a great matchup. I think they both play pretty similar styles, very athletic, very talented throwers, very energetic teams, both bringing that sort of positive intensity that I love to see in Ultimate from both Tchac and Wall City. I also know both teams have a similar game plan, similar tactics. Talked to Coach Matteo Bosser and Brian Jones before the game. Both of them talk about what they're going to do, and both have, I think, two different D-lines. One D-line that's a bit more focused on zone, one D-line that's a bit more focused on person, and they're typically going to try and play the zone points when the other team's going upwind and the person points when it's going downwind. I don't think anyone's too surprised by that strategy. What Brian Jones talked about in the pre-match, though, is that they want to win the energy battle. They want to be there and play with their energy, and he says that's a challenge for them when they have to play zone offense. Wall City's a great team that can bring intensity when person defense matches up are there, and they can yell at their dudes to go and win each individual matchup. But if Tchac are going to turn this into a zone game and make it into a longer, lower energy level game, that's something that Wall City thinks is going to be a challenge for them to maintain their advantage.
And Tchac, coming from the seaside as well, going to be a little bit more prepared for these conditions. I would have expected an awful lot of match, but like you say, as the wind howls, you have to adapt.
This is the 4 seed and the 5 seed of the tournament, so though there's a randomized pot draw, this is typically what you want in the quarterfinal. You want the 4 and 5 seeds coming and matching up and locking horns to see who really deserves to be in that top 4 spot. We can hear the cheers coming from both teams. Hallelujah Berlin, Tchac from Pornichet. It's going to get wild here, Lorcan.
I mean, the intensity is flowing off the pages. Both these squads want so badly to be at the top of the table. They've both been knocking on that door for a very long time, and ain't nobody let them in. Somehow the Irish snuck in through the back. I think the Italians kicked it down once, but the rest of the time those English homeowners have not let the house prices fall by welcoming the French or the Germans. Which one of them can get to the semi-final and can really put their stamp in a definitive sense? No more consolation medals. It has to me always seemed like Wall City have struggled to play their best at the European Championships, whereas Tchac, I mean, when the biggest moments in their club's history, making top 8 of the Worlds in 2018, now it's not a huge, there's still some players around from that era, but just a bit more reputation for the pressure moments.
Yeah, I think that's true, but talk about reputation and getting used to pressure moments. Wall City's big advantage, having likes of Conrad Schlor, who's won championships in every division, basically won U.S. championship himself, and the man there, you can see there in the blue rain jacket, Brian Jones.
Well, you kind of undersold that a little bit, because you're like, oh, and I was talking to Matthew, and I was talking to Brian Jones, and you're like,
Brian Jones.
Is that just some other person called Brian Jones?
Brian Jones, coach of ponies, coached the men's beach open team numerous times. Very great tactically, very good at giving specific instruction in moments. And I talked to Conrad Schlor yesterday, said it was so good having Brian. I'm like, why? Just so we could tell your team to huck and deep properly? He's like, yes. We needed somebody that would really get it across that, no, we can't just dump and swing in these conditions, get it down the field, and that's it. And Brian was there to help that team stay focused in what he calls wind level 3 conditions, which means we're not playing fancy ultimate, we're playing the ultimate in the wind, and change what we're doing and help get the team to buy into that, which can be challenging. Some teams think we can still play our ultimate game in the wind. No. and that took Wall City to an undefeated day yesterday. Tchac taking the one loss to Lafota, but none of that matters now. Quarterfinals, Tchac versus Wall City. Lorcan, let's go.
In that windy conditions as well, I saw Lafada go for a pull against Tchac that then wound up in their own end zone. So I'd never really seen that before in Ultimate. Tchac had a chance to almost catch a Callahan off the pull. As you see immediately, under a lot of pressure, there is the match defense. It's the physicality. I thought we were going to see a rip straight off the bat. Right now, just kind of relaxing. Not trying to force too much. You don't want the adrenaline to overtake your reasoning. Brilliant break to the far sideline and back into the middle. And there's the big shot. We knew it was only a matter of time until people started sending it deep. The birds flock underneath, and they get the goal. 1-0 to Tchac.
What a play there from Tchac. A little bit of conversation, foul called. I think that's Vincent Lampagnol on the Tchac reception. Going to be a bit of discussion here, Lorcan. It's goal. Sorry, that's Leo Stangenik with the goal. My apologies.
Really nice grab. Wall City swarmed underneath it, though, and as you were saying, do we just need someone to tell us how to huck and do it better? You could see the practice, all of those black shirts trying to get in and around, but Stangenik just reading it perfectly and getting up there first for the crucial grab. So perhaps not the way they wanted the shot to come off, but you've got to bear in mind that was upwind, and they're able to take it down. We'll see how Wall City respond.
And I think a key thing to know here, Lorcan, actually, right as you said that, the wind picked up. And sometimes in these games, if it becomes a downwind battle, getting those upwinders when you have the opportunity in those slightly stiller conditions, what Tchac did there, can be huge in this game. So they got that one.
It's so circumstantial, and at times it can feel a little bit unfair when you see a team just go, we got the upwind while the wind was down, and then a hurricane came in, and it became impossible to throw it out of your own end zone and going in one direction. But that is it. Luck is simply when preparation meets opportunity, and now as we see Tchac meet Wall City, I'm not sure if you can hear me over the sound of the sidelines. I imagine you can feel the intensity at home beating in your own chests. The disc comes down and a sharp blade quickly reset into the middle of the pitch. And flowing along line, that is the famous German Ferdia Rogers. And there's a huge shot straight out of the hands of Greenwald and straight in to the waiting hands of Konrad Schler. Oh, I'm sorry, is there a call?
Yeah, there was a strip call by the defender there, and Konrad Schler accepted it. So giving the disc back to Tchac, they get a turn.
Incredible work, really great defensive pressure. By the time I saw the disc in Schler's hands, he was already off in the back corner. So Tchac, D-line, get the disc with an opportunity.
And that's Simon Ruel, who was great for the French mixed team, getting the D there on Schler.
Impressive scenes. Trying to go back Roger in the middle of the pitch, but it goes back to the sideline. And Liron, back to Roger. And a scuba over the top, just getting a little bit fancy with it. Le Pagnol goes down the break side. Tchac very confident with these throws. It's flown back into the middle, Roger. And now Roger unlaunches one, but it was always dropping, even with the wind at their backs. They just flap a little bit, and Roble never had a chance at that one.
You've got the world game star Sullivan Roble there on the deep cut. You got to hit that if he's going for it, but just to throw a little bit off.
I think you got to float it. I've been saying this all weekend. Just float them to the end zone and let there be a battle. That's almost the difference between the D-line and the O-line hooks.
Yeah, I've seen more turns downwind overshots this tournament than upwind turns a lot. Teams have been struggling to deal with that. That's also what I heard from Tchac. They played against Quixotes this morning, and they said both teams just kept scoring upwind. It was crazy winds this morning. Teams struggling on the downwind side more than the upwind side.
See, Rogers looking for some options. They're back in their own end zone. Big pressure being exerted right now. Huggins able to relieve it over so slightly. Excellent heads up block. And that's another turn for Tchac. This time it's Vincent Lepagnol who gets the block. But they seem ready for what Wall City are bringing to the table.
They are prepared. They're prepared. They came out. Matteo Bossera said, you can count it here. The Tchac coach saying the upset's coming. They are hungry and they back
So you think there would be an upset for Tchac to win this game?
It's the 5-4 and Tchac are the 5, Wall City are the 4. So according to the algorithm, it's an upset.
According to the algorithm, it's a draw.
I think this is a dead even matchup. But a slight upset in the fact that Tchac had to play a pre-quarter this morning and Wall City was rested.
That is a crucial, crucial decider. I think I'll play more into the semifinals. It's an advantage, I think, right now for a team like Tchac to already be warmed up, to have had to play against Quixotes in that tough situation. As now they look, they get a second chance at a break. Big hanging pass, huge grab, right outside the end zone. Desperate for someone to get available. Bodies are flying. Ruel holds on and leads opposite side. And that's the easiest catch of the entire point. 2-0 to Tchac. Nope, we're going back, I think. As the conversation continues, I think it's a discussion of whether or not they were in. So there's the tap back in. Immediate recovery across. Tchac can't get the pop straight in. Goes back to Roger. Roger looks for options and gets one immediately in front of him. There's the break. And Tchac go 2-0 up.
Talk about the energy battle here. This is something that Wall City are going to have to deal with. Tchac in the lead right now. A little more force on them. Look at this throw from Roger. Just pops it into the end zone. That's a fantastic goal. Great energy from Tchac. If you want to ask me who's winning the energy battle, it's that Tchac D-line right now.
It's all across the sideline as well. They are electric, screaming, and they have come out and just punched Wall City right in the mouth. It could be 1991 all over again. Advantage to Tchac, and you can see some of the big throws on full display. What really impressed me there is how frequently a team will then make that mistake once they think they've scored and they're that hyped up. It leaves you prone to just adrenaline-induced errors. But in this instance, Tchac recycled. They get the drop straight back to Roger. Roger says no to the first, about 70% opportunity, and then I think it was Leron came across, and that was like an 80-90% opportunity right in the chest. Really great maturity. That's a hard thing to pair with intensity.
So now I think we'll get our first look at Tchac's zone defense line. That was definitely their person defense line. Wall City coming out here in a split stack. They love to play that. It's a very common tactic from this Wall City offensive line. They like to open up the space in the middle and attack from there.
We'll see how they can respond to the mounting pressure. Wall City might not have ever picked up a title, but like you say, there's a few champions throughout their ranks.
And I think you're right. A lot of people talk about the big three in the open division, Mooncatchers, Clapham, and Lafota. These are the ones that want to knock on that door and challenge them, but now they have to get through each other to get that opportunity.
There's a huge, though, immediately over the top. If there was a zone, it wasn't anywhere near the area. Ridlow looks to finish and does so. Nice leading pass into the corner for Greenwald.
Great response there from Wall City. You get broken, you get hit in the mouth, but you come back up and score confidently like that. And this already shows some of the people that they're bringing into this roster. We've seen some stuff from Ferdia, and we see there Andre Riedlo, the Czech import, joining this year. Just a nice, confident throw over to the star cutter, Hartley Greenwald, a player that I think will be very involved in the stats sheet throughout this game.
Someone to keep an eye on as the game progresses.
For sure, Hartley Greenwald, great player. I think not maybe as well known as the likes of Schlor, but one that definitely will be hugely important for Wall City's offense.
Well, I think hugely important for Wall City's offense is getting that goal on the board. 2-1. D-line will go back out there. So did start the game on defense.
And I do think this is also Wall City's zone defense line. They have a fruits line and a vegetables line, they call it. And I can't remember which is which. I can never remember which is which, but let's call this the fruit line.
I would say, yeah, you think zone is fruit? No, I think vegetables are fruit. Everybody hates eating their vegetables. Sorry, I think vegetables is
vegetables
zone.
Are fruit?
Yeah.
Is a tomato a fruit or a vegetable? Which line is the tomato on? That's what I want to know.
That's how we're going to work it out. Is right now, Tchac in the lead. Wall City trying to play catch up. And they are flowing down the pitch. Great isolation on these cutters.
Pick call.
Is that going to go back to Staganek? Indeed it is. It's just high intensity, hard running. The speed of this game starting off has been lightning quick, especially from the Lighthouse boys. Staganek. I think it's just conversation about everybody getting back in the correct position. Staganek fakes the first dump. He's going to need to get the second one off. He does so. Courtil. And after initially really flowing, they're struggling a little bit to get it going on the reset. Ibiza gets it back. As for Jay, and he really made a name for himself this last 2 seasons. There's a quick pop off. The Benvenant goes with a push pass down the line to Courtil, but I think that's going to come back as a call. So that stay with Courtil. We'll just have a little peek out here and see. So how do you feel about the game starting off? A couple of these calls just to establish it early, you hope, and we can get back to the high flank. I think this is going to take a little bit of the intensity out of the Tchac boys.
Yeah, and I think, well, Wall City need to find an intensity. It's not sure that favors. I think calming this game down a bit.
But hey, let's be productive. We can just stay here,
They
right?
are also French, though.
We don't have to do things just come.
Always something. But no, but I do think that if one team wants the game to calm down, it's Tchac right now, so that favors them, is how I see it.
I would have thought they'd want to keep it a little bit higher intensity to start. I was just so impressed. They literally came out screaming.
They're in the driver's seat right now. Wall City are the ones who need a break.
That is true. Courtil, Benvenant desperately trying to get free. There's the big swing back around. Nicely taken by Delal. Delal looking for options. Goes to the opposite sideline. Had Courtil nearby. Instead, it's the other way, and then it goes back to Delal. Giving up yards, but retaining possession. Forget tries to get free, can't really. Bobble catch, nicely done, holding on to possession. Stanganek goes back to Forget. Forget gets the quick throw across the Benvenant. And there's a searing inside play, nicely taken down by Lelivre. And there for the assist, 3-1.
That's a great confident hold by Tchac. It took them a lot of passes, but their reset structure was so good, and every pass, they rifle. They rifle those dicks. They're very good throwers. They know how to handle the wind and put spin on it in these conditions. It looks like there's no wind at all, and they just throw it so hard. That's something that I think a lot of teams going from medium level to high level don't realize, that you have to put a lot more zip on it. You don't want to give good defenders a chance for a layup block. If you can all be comfortable catching hard throws and throwing hard throws, it makes offense so much easier.
Also, I think a huge part of getting that step up is exactly what Tchac did there, which was the reset, right? Like, there's a long conversation. Odds are you're going to come out and in 1 or 2 throws, you're going to turn it over. They happily lost yards. We saw, I think, Benvenant, Staganek, and Courtil all hold it for quite a while, but then get the dump pass off, recycled, eventually, and then just hit it back. Brilliant dump swinging and just pinging those discs as quick as they will go. So composure as well as intensity.
And we see here Brian Jones coming out talking about defense. This man is tweaking things every single point. He's going to get you to perfection by the end of the game. He sees so much, and this is really the advantage that'll probably help Wall City out late in this matchup.
I mean, they'll need to keep it close. Right now, 3-1 to the Flying Frenchman. So here come Wall City. The quick pick and immediately popped. Metzger's going to be crucial to this offense. Freddie Rogers, champion with Ranelagh, the Dubliner. He's been playing with Wall City all season long. Metzger, elevator back. I've seen so many elevator backhands this weekend.
It's a very good weapon downwind.
Metzger and Greenwald. He said everybody needs to keep an eye on him, and I think that's what the Tchac defense is as well. Really respecting how quick he is once he gets the disc off. Metzger leads Ridlow. Ridlow holds on, and now goes back to Metzger. This is fantastic. He's just taking every second pass. Now able to get the swing across the Rickards. Rickards to Ridlow. Ridlow doesn't want the first pass. Rogers isolated front of Stack. The lefty finishes it with a nice pop in for the goal. And while that is finished by perhaps the most famous name, Konrad Schlerer, lots and lots of respect to David Metzger.
Yeah, I think David Metzger, I was just about to say the same exact thing. He wasn't involved in the last like 4 or 5 passes, but getting to that red zone possession was all about him working through the handler space. He's been a top handler for this Wall City squad for a long time, and I've talked to a lot of people who say that he's a little underrated. People talk about some other names on Wall City, but Metzger, one to keep an eye out for as well.
Seems like he's playing quite a central role so
Yes.
far, like main handler almost.
That's basically his role. Yeah, he's been doing that for a couple of years. I think he wasn't playing all season last year, maybe dealing with some injuries, but this year really stepping into that.
That's a tantalizing combination then. It's your handling base. You've got Ferdia Rogers, who's a former Offensive Player of the Year in Europe, and alongside him Metzger, who seems to have really grown into the role. That was incredibly impressive. He took that on.
And then targets like Greenwald and Schlor. And,
Oh, we know,
pretty,
yeah. They've got
pretty
targets.
Pretty tasty offensive line there, Morgan. But Tchac have gotten the one break
and
already.
then yes, that's true. That's true. I was going to say, we didn't even mention Ridlow. It was like they pick up one of the best Czech players going. So here come the Tchac attack, the offense. Bonvenant gets it across to Forget. Forget, who definitely has cannons. And I don't know how he got that backhand off at that angle, but he did, and they all count. Dilal, lovely inside flick. I think I got faked out by Leo Staganek on that one. There's a pass down the line, Staganek. So taking the rather relaxed under. So for all their intensity and their movement, they're taking the right options. Cortil, that's an up line to Enzo. Forget doesn't force the shot to the front corner, lets the cut mature, but huge defensive pressure. Gets the turn, and now the opportunity to go in the opposite direction. Philip Kay picks it up quickly, centers it into the middle. That's Stefan Kuhn, who swings it across to the
down call. I think it might have hit the ground on that swing pass.
Kay to Kuhn?
Yes. That's at least what they're discussing. I don't know if it was, but to me it looked very close. It's taken, there we can see the block. Herkins on the block. We're going to take a look. It looks like the down call is retracted, and seems like Wall City's going to hold on to it.
We just have
So
another
we're back in play. Garvey on the disc.
Far side, and Garvey tries to center it back into the middle and does so nicely. Kay. Although I think there's a call for a violation from when that restarted.
Back in the hands of Garvey. Looks like he started a bit before the rest of the field was ready. Trash move on his part.
I know, right?
Yeah.
To be expected, I suppose.
And a pretty trashy centering pass, to be fair.
And now he's saying, is everybody good? Like he didn't know.
Yes.
Being a little bit obvious, but that's the North American in him. Diekman. Kuhn makes a move. Sorry, Kay even. Kuhn clears out. Big move to the open side by Garvey. Instead they go to Kuhn on the break. Centers it back into the middle. Nicely taken by Herkins. He got the D. Spread out. Great running by Kay to pick it back up. Doesn't want that deep shot to Diekman. Doesn't want the under either. The Tchac defense was close on everything and forcing the turn. Brilliant work.
I think Phil Kay had an open option, not the one on Herkins there, but the before cut that he looked off.
Linneman stones?
Yeah, so there's the clear out by Garvey. That option, it was a tight window, but could have been hit, and then that poach off just caused a little bit of frustration. Kay going into that space, and Kay throwing into that space, sorry. And the disc is going back to Tchac. Was there an injury call or something? There seems to be a stoppage on the field.
It's coming back in on stalling too, so I'm not entirely sure. Maybe the game started again and nobody told us. Bonvenant centers into the middle. Cortil. Cortil across. Taken in by Staganek. Staganek. A nice little shoulder shimmy fake, but doesn't throw it to anybody. Dilal to Forget. Turns off what I imagine was a deep cut downfield. I didn't see it. Forget's going to float that one. It goes up in the air. Lilleman stands on the block, but it's stolen right back by Bonvenant. and a little bit of contact after a whole lot of action.
Yeah, Linda Munstone's on the ground. I think it might have been off the landing. First block looked so good.
Looked incredible, but great presence of mind.
Paul Van Vignen, such a strong player. Looks like Richie's going to come in on the sub. Linda Munstone's going to come out. Or is he trying to keep himself in? I think they're first discussing the foul. I'm not sure there was really a foul here. There you see the block. Then Paul Van Vignen goes for it, jumps. I think he hits him in the face a little bit. What do you see there?
I see incidental contact, to be honest with you.
That
I
is
see an
fine.
incredible battle between two athletes who are giving it everything.
Yeah.
Linda Munstone's, who I imagine is probably a little bit frustrated after getting looked off in an open side under, trying to get it done. But Heinrich comes out, or Richie as he's known to his friends, Staganek, with the disc. Back across. Ooh, that was not an easy catch by Bovinel. Immediately shoots for Forget. Forget's got Garvey on the back shoulder. Is going to call foul. I think I see Garvey uncontesting, or else he's shrugging out of confusion. It's difficult to tell.
No, he's shrugging out of confusion. So I think Garvey definitely clattered into Forget, but I think what Garvey will argue here is that it was going to go over both of them. Let's look at the replay here. Yeah, Garvey definitely fouls there. For me, I think you got to accept that foul. Sadly, I think he could
bailout foul.
He could have had position, but he made contact.
I consider that a bailout foul. Like, that was probably going to be a turnover.
It was probably going to be a turnover, but
you fouled him.
You fouled him, exactly.
So.
It's retracted.
Wow.
Oh, they want to look at the VAR. Or I'm not sure what's going on.
It doesn't look like they're coming over to the VAR.
I think they just retracted the foul. I think it's a turn.
Forget happy to accept it. So now we see who's, I think is that Kay walking to pick it up?
Garvey, of course, a famous Eurotrash spirit captain, so he knows how to handle those discussions well.
Yes, of course.
Which
Eurotrash, famously highly spirited team.
Yes.
It's about all highly finishing in.
Being spirit captain of that type of team, there's a lot of practice in dealing with these discussions, though, so I think that's how he was able to utilize that in that situation. Kay now.
Right into the middle. Really nicely taken in. Fed across. Diekman, leading pass, big bid, but nothing happening. Kay goes with the backhand, looking for Garvey. Looks like he's going to just hit Forget as if he was targeting him.
Second throwing error by Kay there, really unfortunate. One of the star players on this D-line is going to have to reel those in. His team's going to need him to play better than this.
He also traveled on the hook for the record.
I'll note it in the record. I'll note it down.
It's always good to know. Here comes Tchac coming right back at them. Straight down the line, Forget in acres of space. And then that leading backhand, he flicks them out so deftly. Barzazi-esque. Staganek couldn't get the continuation after Cortil. Diekman comes down to put the pressure on the force. Delal, disc in hand, options ahead. Tries to lead to the corner, and that's a goal. Tchac, hold on. It ends in the hands of Vincent Abita.
Wasted opportunity there by Wall City. 2 chances did that defensive line get to make breaks, and they couldn't handle it. Philip Kay, 2 turnovers on his end. Star player for this Wall City team for a long time. What I was going to mention, if they had gotten that break, was how impressive it is that the depth of Wall City has developed to the point where they could have players like Phil Kay, Jakob Diekman playing on a D-line. Those would have been necessary pieces of a Wall City O-line a couple years ago, but you see how their recruiting has gone to have those players play on D.
Also their development as well.
Yeah, but you have to say Phil Kay is going to want those ones back. It's 2 throwing errors from the big man.
Do you think he's going to get a chance at them?
We'll see how many chances Tchac gives them.
They've been quite good. I mean, that point, a little unnerving, but I feel like they've got the right energy. They're riding the lightning right now, you know? Like, it doesn't feel like they're letting their intensity carry them away. It feels like it's under the wing.
But who's winning the energy battle right now? I still think it's in Tchac's hands at the moment.
Sorry, I was talking about Tchac.
I think this is the next conversation. Yeah, in this, what Brian Jones talked about, the energy battle of this game.
I think
Tchac's in the driver's seat.
It's got to be Tchac in the driver's seat, right? 4-2 up. Started the game on offense, to be clear. So here comes this disc. Why is Konrad Schleur wearing a schnood in the sun? This and more questions will be answered on the next EUCF in-out show as Ferdia Rogers in the backfield. Oh, I'm sorry, that's actually Metzger. It's the visor. I'm so used to seeing Ferdia play with black curly hair and a visor, but no, that's Metzger. Throws it down the line. Vilikis, back to Metzger. Metzger across, Ridlow. Gets low to collect. Wants to get it back, is able to get it back to Rickards. Rickards down the line. Metzger. Metzger sends it to Vilikis. Rickards across the Ridlow. Nice little spin move, gets Metzger. Power position right outside the end zone. Brilliant work on the force to stop that break across. It goes back to Rickards instead. Rickards across the Ridlow. Doesn't like his first few options staring at the end zone. Likes to completely flee Rickards, and I don't know where the defense went.
We got a battle here, Lorcan. That's just such fun offense to watch. The whole team getting involved. Now notice there, Ferdy Rogers not playing that O point, trusting the rest of his team to do it. I was able to commentate the summer tour with Christian Gaffney, who's an ex-Wall City player here, now helping out coaching. And he told me that Ferdy had joined the team this year, and after the first few practices, basically it was clear he was going to be a captain. And they decided as leadership, Ferdy, I don't know if Ferdy asked or they asked first, but they realized he brings just so much amazing leadership, poise. I remember at summer tour, he was helping them out with nutrition, telling them what to eat in between games. Focus on carbs now, focus on sugar now. Such a knowledgeable person about the whole aspect of the game. And there, I think, very veteran move to trust your O-line and not say, I have to do it all, because he's going to probably have to cross over to some important points later, and we see him crossing over to a D point now. This is a power line now. We see Ridlow crossing over, Schlor crossing over, Brian Jones recognizing this moment is one that they want to get this break.
As it is 4-3 to Tchac over Wall City right now if they get the break to try and tie this game back up. You're trying to get me to storm out so you can do this on your own just by complimenting a Dubliner as much as possible. No, all of that rings true. All of that speaks to the legacy he's built in Ireland as well as a player. And of course the institution that is Wall City. So 4-3 right now, the French in the lead. This is a power line on the defensive side from the Germans. How will Tchac respond? Brilliant undercut immediately to Delal. Delal spreads it across, and it is nicely taken in by Abita. Abita dumps it back to Bonvenant. Bonvenant across to Abita again. That's Stangerneck. Stangerneck drops it back and receives it again. So Tchac, they are resetting it quite effectively and very slowly gaining yards in the process. Bonvenant leads across. Oh, no, I think there was a call there. Yes, that would explain why he stopped moving. There's a lot of energy on these dump cuts from the Tchac boys, though. It's mostly been that recycle that's made it down the pitch.
They are working hard out there.
Oh, that one's going to have to start again. Ridlow must be a very intimidating person to try throw around. Like, that is a long man, and also I'm kind of getting blinded by the sun. Hard running from Courtille. Provides some relief. Big swing across. That is fantastic offense. Delivre gets it just about to Bonvenant. Here's the cut down the line from Courtille. They center it into the middle with Abita instead.
Things will calm down for a chat. Ferdia getting involved this time with Benvenier.
That's a fantastic, fantastic matchup.
I'm not sure exactly what the discussion is about. Is it a stall out?
No, he didn't have the disc long enough, did he?
I don't think so, but... Stall's coming in on 6. I did not hear the rest of that to know what the call was.
Bonvenier. Luke's huge sailing! Frenchman can't get close to it.
Huge moment here for Wall City. They have their power line out there. They got Rogers, they got Ridlow, they got Schlor. This is an opportunity for them to punch in a break. Gifted by Tchac. Has to say that's an unforced error.
Yep.
They were playing super good offense the whole way.
Delal did everything within his power to try and get that. And hard cutting to immediately open up, but Rogers goes to Ridlow instead. And now down the line.
Low catch by Schlor from Basov.
Quick pop off to Rogers into the power position. He wants the backhand. He sends the backhand. Brilliantly defended by Tchac to earn it back. I thought when it was first set up, Basov had the position and the steps, but the wind slowing it down.
Yeah, Corteil there just taking position. Great stuff by Tchac. It's not the best shot by Rogers, not adjusting to that upwind.
Everything about the setup was correct, right?
Yes.
But yes, it's the wind. It's why you mentioned it at the start, and it's going to keep coming back up. What did you say it was Category 3 wind or something? Tier 3?
This is not Tier 3 winds.
Okay.
Brian
No, the
Jones
thing
has
Brian-
levels of winds.
Levels,
Like
is what he
level
said.
1, still you're playing regular ultimate. Level 2, you adjust a couple things. Level 3, throw everything out the window. We're huck and D'ing it all day. Like that's
Abita sits down, launches one. That absolutely sails all the way down the pitch. Razo outside the end zone. Goes with the scooper over the top and it works. It's always
There's
the
a
right call.
call.
That's
It's
going to
travel call.
Travel call?
or an injury call or a something call.
Oh, it's an
Reedlow
injury
is
call.
coming out on an injury. The question is, did this affect play? I think it kept going and it would not have affected anything, but there was quite a few throws.
I mean, it was an incredible flick, and Brazo was in an awful lot of space.
Yeah, you see the injury there. That definitely didn't affect the huck. And the question is, would anything have changed here? Because there is no limit to the number of continuation passes, but maybe he held on to this long enough that more people would have been involved. You can always argue there.
I think it stays up there, and you just accept that it's not a true recreation.
I think you probably give up. You could definitely staying up there. The question is, will it be a goal or not?
I mean, if the defender's near it, I would honestly say it should probably stay as a goal, but
Yeah, I think that would have happened regardless of what Reedlow was going to do. Reedlow wasn't going to get involved in that one, right? So
I think it's that people stopped chasing. They heard injury sooner, and they didn't come back to provide help.
If some
panic
other,
defense.
if some other players did, I agree. But it seemed like they were all kept on playing, is what I saw. But anyways,
So
let's see a repeat
Brazo
of that scuba, though. They got to do it again, right?
got to send it back, do it again. 4-3, Tchac up, looking to hold on to their 2-point lead that they earned right at the start of this game. Brazo across to Bonvenier. Bonvenier, hammer over the top. We're getting a little bit spicy here, ladies and gentlemen. Staganet catches Dalal with the stutter stop, step, and score!
Such nice stuff from this chalk line. And that was, like I said, big opportunity for Wall City when they had that opportunity to get the break. But this is bad because now they had to run Reedlow, they had to run Rogers, they had to run Schlor for a double possession point on defense. And now that tires them out a little bit, and they need those players to execute well on O. Will they throw them out again or trust the rest of the depth of their O-line? See here again the inside passes that work out so well. Dalal just squeezing it past through there as he gets the out of position mark. Hammer across to start things off. First inside pass, second inside pass. Beautiful stuff from Tchac.
Lelivre finished it off, but like you say, it's that hammer that really just completely switched the focus of play. Bonvenier with a brilliant hammer over the top, recognizing what's happening, and it's controlled intensity. Like, you look at some of these throws and you're like, man, they are just going as hard as they possibly can. Within reason, it seems. Like, they seem to be on top of themselves.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They must practice throwing this hard, practice throwing this in this wind. They're from Pornichet. They're a coastal team. They're used to playing in areas exactly like Oostende. This is a bit further north, but pretty much same idea. Talking about the game situation, you see Rogers there coaching the line. He's had to come out now for 2 O points. Reedlow has come off from this O line as well. So Schlor's not leading the field, but
that's just not happening.
That's just not going to happen.
So Rickards centers, Metzger leads, and it goes over the top. Emphatic interception. Chantron did not want to let anybody else get involved in that one. Quick pop back to Roblé and a timeout. How do you feel about that timeout, Ravi?
In general, I'm not a fan of in-game timeouts. I think they're better used to rest top players and make power lines. Tchac, though, as Mathieu Bosser described it to me, very homogeneous team. They have a couple stars, but pretty much they believe in their depth. So they believe that they don't need to maybe do power lines. And if that's the case, maybe they're used to living up to this moment, getting this break. It's a huge one. If they can go up 6-3 here, that'll really put a dent in Wall City's chances in this game.
Could be a bit of a dagger as we go into timeout. 7 minutes away from halftime itself. The score, Tchac 5, Wall City 3. Welcome back, everybody, to this quarterfinal EUCF 24. What else is going on around the fields, Ravi?
Yeah, we got 4 quarterfinal matchups in the open division right now. Mooncatcher's up 8-4 on Gentle in the Belgian battle. BFD La Fota down 5-6. Chevy in the lead in that one. And Clapham up 8-6 on Grutz. So pretty close half for Grutz. I thought they would have got wiped out a little further by Clapham, but Clapham being a little vulnerable this tournament.
They've looked mortal, and honestly, I'm not surprised to see Chevy up on BFD. BFD have not had a great tournament, to be honest with you. And you know who has had a great tournament so far? I mean, I think Wall City and I think Tchac are having a pretty phenomenal game right now. Back to Roger. Sits at that base of that offense so often. Metzger and Roger is a very exciting matchup. That goes along to Robles. Robles down the line, leading pass right outside the end zone. Broussard throws, and it's caught for the goal, Charmin. Ruel, 6-3.
That's a very, very good point. You see Sullivan Robles, the World Games player, getting super involved there. Just amazing stuff from the depth of this Tchac D-line. We talked about the homogeneousness of this Tchac team, and this is another D-line putting in a break. Lepagnol leading that pass. Phenomenal stuff. And then the last squeeze through. Ruel with the upline cut. That's a difficult throw to hit in this upwind space, but it's thrown beautifully there by Benjamin Broussard. And Ruel gets the punch in. 6-3, that timeout seems to have worked out, and we seem to be getting another one. I'm guessing this one's Wall City's.
That would make an awful lot of sense. Broussard's been very impressive so far, especially in the cutting in the final third of the pitch. Really liking the Frenchman's play right now as we refuse to be distracted by errant things. It's not halftime, sorry. It's a timeout. Wall City 3 points down, but a lot left to do.
Sideline, grosse sideline.
Welcome back, everybody. The action has been high flying, but right now it is the Birds from Pornichet with the wind under their wings. Wall City crumbling ever so slightly in the early exchanges, Ravi.
Yeah, and now we're seeing a bit more of their traditional O-line. They took a risk putting the power line out there and crossing Ferdia over. It paid off the first time, but the second O-line point, I think now they took that time out to reset themselves. Ferdia's back out there, Metzger's back out there, Riedlow's back out there. This is more the strongest O-line that Wall City can put out, and I think they're gonna need that to steady the ship and then trust their standard D-line players to get the job done.
Oh, it's great to see Riedlow step back out there. I think he had one of those physio elastic bands on the line, stretching out to get ready. As just off to our right, Brian Jones marshals the troops, hands out a couple of lessons. But first off, Wall City need to get the hold. Fielded by Rickards, goes to Metzger. Gained some good yards on that. A nice pass, well taken by Schleur. Leading it along. And Wall City, they are working this sideline quickly. Riedlow. Rogers outside the end zone. Metzger stops on a dime and goes back for the reset, but really great work on the force to block it, but Rogers just patiently waits and sends it for the goal.
Yeah, Paul Rickards there with the score. That's a confident hold from Wall City, answering throughout that timeout. realizing they're there. Now the question is, how can they answer against the Tchac O-line? Tchac still in the driver's seat here. And like we said, the all-important energy battle still looking on the Seagull side.
I have to ask, because that entire point basically took place within 3 meters of a sideline. To me, that's not indicative of an effective offense.
See, I think at this level, though, the thing is, if you back yourself to make that throw and you have an open option there, you hit it. And I think what actually opened it up was the final. So there were 2 throws really right on the sideline. The throw to Rogers from, I think it was Reedlow, was actually about 5 meters into the field, and that made the next thing open up a bit. And yes, you maybe sometimes want to just go around and work it, you know, that's what you say to the lower level teams. At this level, you got to take what's given to you, and if you back yourself to make those upline shots and they're there, you got to take them.
Great patience to finish it off as well from Rogers, because I thought Metzger was getting completely free. He was burned up line, stopped, turned, but brilliant work by the French force to deny the throw. But Rickards, who's also playing in the backfield for Wall City, just continuing the move.
We saw there in that point the Enzo Forget versus Conrad Schlor matchup. I'm excited to see how that one develops. I would like to see a couple sky balls go up to those 2 athletes.
Well, right now you're going to have to settle for the Ned Garvey and Enzo Forget battle. There's the goal. Thrower from Brian.
Sorry, it was Ruel on
Ruel. That makes more
Ruel.
sense. Yeah,
Ruel
sorry. That makes way
Schlor.
more sense, yeah.
They both have that little man bun, so I get a little confused between the 2.
What is with the man buns coming back? I'm not a fan. Anyway, Bonvinet sends it across to Abida. Abida swings it opposite. I believe that's Stangerneck.
This is great defense from Wall City, pushing Tchac into their defending end zone. It's been like 6-7 passes.
Bonvinet across the Forget. 2 deep cuts, half-hearted started and no finish to them. Goes back to Bonvinet instead. Bonvinet to Forget, so the 2 of them just kind of recycling. But this has been what's really impressed me about the Tchac offense. They've been calm and confident recycling the disc.
There's a call downfield. This is definitely the person defense line from Wall City, just trying to trust themselves to win every individual matchup. And I have to say, that Garvey-Forget matchup that you talked about earlier, I'm enjoying it.
It's not bad.
I'm enjoying it.
He's putting good pressure on. I mean, this stall's got to be about 5 or 6, right? Immediate reset to Cortil. I didn't think he'd continue that cut. Bonvinet tries to get free for the around. The wind just starting to pick up. Excellent catch by Forget. He caught it over his shoulder and almost 5 minutes after him. Nice throw down. Stangerneck, sick of this. He wants to launch one, does so. It's absolutely perfect. Lelivo's outside the end zone. Everybody on the sideline flows along. Delal comes for some support, so does Stangerneck. It goes to Delal. Delal behind. Swings back into the middle. Bonvinet, and now the swings across Cortil to finish to Forget, and Tchac scores 7-4.
Wow. We talked about working up this sideline, Lorcan. How about that offensive point from Tchac? They do it in a couple passes all the way down the field, but then they turn the page, go the other side, dump swing, classic Ed zone offense. Really, really impressive stuff from Tchac this game. They're a great team, but I'm floored by how they're playing.
I am too. And the thing that I always believe is, at the highest levels when the teams clash, the thing that always comes back to are the fundamentals. Like, yes, people can make these crazy throws and these huge grabs, but really when a tier 1 team, say like the 3 we mentioned, plays someone like Tchac or Wall City, in these moments, this is when you turn, because you can't get it off. You're forced to like take on some drastic throw. But Tchac have been recycling under immense pressure so effectively. I don't know how Forget made the catch that got him that disc. I don't know how Cortil was able to get it just before as well. Stangerneck wasted no time, turned around, booms it.
And then here is where they realize, okay, let's not keep jamming it up. Dump, swing number 1, swing number 2, and we just continue to Forget. That little cut just totally sells Garvey and gets it open on the break side. Textbook end zone offense.
Fundamentals. And that's what the champions do best. That's what makes you relentless. Your consistency. So now Tchac with a chance to break to take half. Started the game on offense. Keep that in mind. 7-4 to the good. Metzger picks it up. It rolled out the back, so it will not go to the brick mark. Back to Rickards. Rickards and Metzger sitting at the base of that O-line. Still something of a traditional Wall City O-line, but now facing some pressures of their own. That wind picking up and Wall City getting backed up a little bit. Rickards, they're looking to try and get around the zone now, it seems.
I think it's an assassin zone on Rogers, because Rogers is being pushed out of the handler space with a man mark on him. And that's causing a lot of problems, because I think you typically want the disc in Rogers' hands in this instance.
You know, the kind of offense you rarely see against a cup, and I do think it works, is the two-person give-go. As now they break through, they get the swing off. Nice big fake from Greenwald. He's getting a little bit involved. Nice pop back to Metzger. Rickards. Conrad Schlur just hops in the spot with so much power. It looks like he could explode in any direction. It's got to be so threatening. Rickards. Metzger. Can't get the swing across. Really nice close. I think it was Madio on the near sideline who was able to stop the swing. So now Metzger and Rickards happy to play it back and forth between each other. I love that faking from Rickards. Trying to move the force around, but he wasn't biting.
Got to be really happy if you're Tchac on this defense. Even if they don't get the turn here, they've kept these offensive players out for a long time. Wall City's going to want to be able to cross players like Schlor and Rogers over, and this is going to prevent that from happening. If you make offenses stay out for a long time, it can help you long time down the stretch in the game.
Now Schlur gets it. I think for the first time so far this point. Greenwald back to Schlur. So he's coming back to help. Metzger. Schlur. So it seems like Rickards has kind of stepped out, Greenwald, and stepped in to work with Schlur. Nice up the line cut. And if you can't throw past the zone, you might as well jump past it. I'm a big believer in the uprushing handler attack against a cup. Rickards, now there's the swing. Mandio not in the area. That one's going to float. Lots of bodies underneath it, but it is the ever-present Ferdio Rogers. Reads it better than anybody. Gets the quick pot back. A lot of patience. Rickards cuts Greenwald. And to Rogers for the finish. Little dicey.
Strangely, I think both teams should be happy with that. I think that Tchac should be happy they forced an errant throw that Ferdy had to catch, and like I said before, forced all the top Wall City offensive players to be on the field for a long time. But Wall City happy to punch in that hold, happy to give themselves a chance. 7-5 now. If I were the coach, this is a moment, if they still have a timeout, to use it to then throw in a power line. This is the last chance you're going to get to break against Tchac in this half. It's time to put it all or nothing on the field.
And as I understand it, it's 2 timeouts a half. So if you have one, you might as well use it, right?
Yeah.
See what Brian Jones decides.
Doesn't look like he's taking my advice.
But
I do see some crossover. I do see Greenwald coming over. I see Rogers coming over, but it seems like they've saved the timeout. Maybe they thought that zone point wasn't that tiring. And maybe use it for after this one to throw the power line back out there if they do get the break. He's thinking some steps ahead of me, I think.
He's playing chess, we're playing checkers. No, we're playing ultimate right now, and you're 2 points down to a fired up French side. So let's see how far the American intelligence can see these Germans through. I like the coordinated defensive chants as well. Tchac when they screech like seagulls, and the Hul Viking chant of the Germans.
Checking the status of the disc.
Across to Forget to start things off. Hasn't really ripped any big ones, but there it is. I was just thinking, no hooks yet. Lots of Germans, but the French come up with it. No, was that still dropped?
I think a foul is being called here, and then a down also being called. He signaling turnover, but I think there's some injury. The big clatter of bodies there. Yeah, you see he did lose possession, and he did call himself. That's going to be down. I think the question here is there a foul discussion?
Not sure. Herkins and Rogers swarmed under that. Forget steps into the big flick hook, but the wind just had other ideas, stifled it completely.
Yeah, I think Rogers is saying he got a bump on his glute there. Seems to be good, and this is a chance for Wall City to use their power line to score a break. They haven't done it yet. Haven't heard the hammer come down.
Greenwald Schleur. The stutter step and cut. Greenwald trying to get free back. I would bet money that was an air bounce. Rogers down the line. Greenwald with the half pivot backhand across to Schleur. And right now it's been all these three players with the weave. Rogers, Schleur and Greenwald working together very well. Greenwald looks for the finishing throw, and it's Schleur again. The three-man weave and the break. 7-6.
And here we're going to hear the first chant of Down Comes the Hammer. I'm guessing. Maybe not. Maybe they don't use it anymore.
Maybe they felt bad for stealing the call off of Clapham.
I made that joke with Gaffney on the call, and he just bit the bait hook, leg, and sinker's like, no, we had the call first. Went all over it. It was phenomenal. It's Summer Tour. I just like set out the fishing line, and he just ate it up.
I mean, it makes more sense that a team named after a wall that was famously knocked down would have a "Down Come the Hammer" chant rather than a bunch of frogs.
Bullfrogs famously use hammers.
Oh, of course. You know,
Famously.
you're right. The Bullfrog Construction Company of
Yes.
London. They put up the gherkin, right?
So, like I predicted, they used the power line, ran it out there, and now they called the timeout so they can throw it back out again.
Very smart move. Maybe we got something of a Brian Jones ourselves in the booth. Well, you can see the intensity, but will you see the result? Only if you keep it with us, as right now it is Tchac 7, Wall City 6. Welcome back, everybody. That is the formidable form of Philip Kay, D-line handler and our leader for this Wall City team. They've gotten one break back to make it 7-6, but can they get to Galaxy Point and return this game to serve? A beautiful pole that sits in the sky as they look to center. Bovenon Courtil, one assumes, will be at the base. Across to Dalal. Staganek turns and burns, and there. Oh, I thought Dalal faked me out with that one. Instead, it goes back in. Bonvenant. Courtil. Staganek there for the swing, and dangerously close to Greenwald, who has at this point played like 3 points in a row. Schleur. Big shot. Greenwald going to try and defend, but Staganek stands tall, collects it right outside the end zone. Abida makes a move to help. Brazo as well. Courtil still outside the end zone. He has the disc in hand, waiting for Frenchman to rush through. I'm not sure, there might be a bit of conversation.
What was that throw, Lorcan? That blade in between two Wall City defenders.
You know what it was?
That should not have worked out.
It was completed.
That should not have worked out. Look at this. No business. No business working out.
Dalal tries to get the isolation on the 7 cut. Brilliant work by Rogers. He doesn't fall for it once, but Bonvenant with the follow-up and goal. That's half.
That's 8-6 for Tchac over Wall City in commanding lead, up one break, I believe. Wall City will get O out of half. Correct? So, yeah, great game by both sides. Just managing the energy. Tchac just with that little bit of an edge. Wall City definitely weren't right within this one, though, Lorcan.
Getting that break back was very, very important, and keeping it close throughout this match. You know they're going to keep making adjustments. They're going to keep switching it up. As you can see, great work by Rogers to stop the initial cut. Doesn't buy on any of the short step fakes, but it takes some long strides from Bovenon to get the goal. Just wondering if we were going to get another look at that throw to Staganek. Said really nice cutting, and again the recycling of Tchac coming to the fore. 2 points up and in the driver's seat of this game. Do you think they're still winning the energy battle?
I think it's getting closer. I think that break was huge, like you said. But why don't we take a quick break here, Lorcan? They're going to take a break for half. We'll be back in a moment.
On October 14th, 2024, the first ever World Beach Ultimate Club Championships will take place in Portugal. Follow the over 600 games as the scores update live online. And with free streaming from the Ulti TV arena, you can catch your favourite teams on your phone or from the comfort of your couch. Don't miss any of the action from Portimao.
Welcome back. Now,
Look at that boy.
If you're wondering about the sideline sound, well, there's been plenty of barking, lots of squawking, and a little bit of building back from Wall City as they got one crucial break to make it 7-6 before Tchac took half 8-6. But you gotta say, Tchac in a commanding position so far in the game, and quite a relief for Wall City. It has to have been to get one break at least before the game was, for the first half ended.
Opportunity at halftime to talk about what's going on with the rest of the games. Mooncatcher's up 11-8, so Gentle coming a little bit back in that one. La Fora taking the lead, now up 9-8 on Chevron, and Clapham now in a commanding position, 14-7 on Crud.
Fair play to your Dutch boys for, you know, keeping it close. It was 8-6, I believe, last time we checked in on that score.
It was 13-6, not too far after that.
Metzger. Down the line to Herkens. Herkens. Another isolation cut directly in front of him. Schleur. Powering along, centers it back to Metzger. Metzger across to Rogers. Rogers. Matched up against Broussard, perhaps? So it's definitely still sticking to the match out of half, and like I say, I like that decision. That one was awfully close. Rogers holds on, gets it to Metzger. Everybody cuts deep from the open side. Metzger goes across to Rickards. Rickards looks for Greenwald, who really has been very impressive so far in this game. Playing an awful lot of points.
Travel's being called by Roger. This one, I think, is a bit of a minor call. Like he's saying, he spun around a little bit. Maybe had his pivot foot up when he did that, but I'm not sure. I think that's the right call for this moment in the game.
I like it.
You like it? It sucks the energy out of what Wall City needs, so in that sense, it works.
Right, you know, like, oh, you're getting your swings off. I'm very annoyed by, like, how often people travel.
Everybody
that's how they
travels.
get their swings off. Yeah, you
Everybody
know.
travels.
Lovely leading offhand pass. Gets Metzger to power position. Nicely recovered on the defensive side to stop the huck. Now Rogers. Herkens goes deep, or at least fakes to go deep. The swing back into Schleur. Metzger. And nobody cuts to the open side for him. Until Schleur goes all the way to the end zone. Will it come back in? No, it will not. There's a flying Frenchman in the way.
You saw right when Metzger released that disc, he was clapped in frustration. He knew that that wasn't the right shot, forcing it up the line. You said before that that might have caused him trouble. It does here.
And there's Ruel. I mean, look, it's probably not going to be catchable, but like, still, that's an incredible defensive play.
I talked before about the Ruel versus Schleur matchup,
Yeah,
and I'm happy to see it. It's causing some fireworks here.
Schleur was kind of, you know, dominating that a little bit up to that point. I think Ruel getting a wee bit mad at him.
Hey, when you're the defensive guy, you just have to win it once, right?
Ruel uncorks one. And will it be collected? No!
He had that. He had it.
Until he didn't.
He had it until he didn't.
That is unfortunate. An incredible throw all the way down the sideline. Wind assisted ever so slightly. Good defensive effort to put some pressure on by Freimark, but...
Yeah, look at this. We're going to watch the unfortunate
Oh,
throw.
Freimark touched it. That's my bad. We're going to give that a defensive block.
Touch. There was no touch.
That's
there.
a block credit to Freimark.
There was no touch. No blocks. No blocks.
AC/DC, touch too much. Metzger to Rickards. And Ferdy Rogers just setting up in that isolation like he's at the front of the end zone. The disc goes high and off the outstretched cuticles of Herkins, and Tchac with a chance for a break to start off the second half.
This is not the way Wall City want to start things.
Well, Roger hoping to get a little bit Y2J and break the walls down. There's the early move. That one's caught. Robles steps back. What a swing throw. Oh my God, that might be my favorite throw so far this weekend. What was that? That was incredible.
You okay looking?
I don't know. He stepped backwards, but that backward step was towards the end zone and then threw a leading pass into the wind, outside in curving. Everything about that was beautiful. The French, they can be a little hoity sometimes, but they're artists. Artists.
They do bring a bit of beauty to the game.
They do. Yeah, that was Robles. That was, yeah, that makes sense. Le Pagnon.
We see there Coach Mathieu Bosser, teammate of Robles on the World Games team in the last cycle. He's told me he is not going for it anymore. He said that, that year when he did World Games and World Clubs the same year, that took enough out of my wallet. I'm done with doing those types of things.
Coaching is the future.
Yeah.
Robles has to take back that throw. Does it a second time. And it's absolutely torn out of the sky by Le Pagnol. Quick throw unders. Right now it's just Robles and Le Pagnol going back and forth. That was nicely taken in by Ruel.
Looks like Greenwald to switch with Schlor on the Ruel matchup.
Ruel with a scooper all the way over the top. And it's absolutely beautiful. Le Pagnol. It's always the right call.
What a French point there. We talked earlier about how they make things beautiful, they make things pretty. A couple more of those throws. Le Pagnol doing, before it was just artistry with the throws, but also the artistry with the catches. The way Le Pagnol goes for this disc. Look, that's quite a, you say it's always the right call, quite a dicey scuba choice, but the way Le Pagnol goes up for it, just phenomenal stuff. And Tchac is just playing with energy. Look at them, they are fired up. They are ready to go. And Le Pagnol's coming to the sideline with a giant smile on his face, and he had two phenomenal grabs that point, so he deserves it.
I wanted to make sure we kept track of the two absolute cloud-snatching grabs. Getting huge.
There's the man, Le Pagnol. Take a bow.
You deserve it, Robles and Le Pagnol keeping that going. Ruel as well, great scuba. I think he might have been a little bit annoyed. My backhand hook was incredible and I don't get an assist, so now I'm just taking this scuba to the back opposite corner. It'll probably work. That.
As a coach, I'm a bit more of a fan of his backhand hook than that scuba, but I know you as a commentator are very much more fan of the scuba.
I'm here for the fireworks, baby. And the French are explosive all game long as well. Came out firing, came out electric on the sideline and lightning quick on the pitch. And they've just not let Wall City settle into this matchup. Metzger.
I'm trying to remember if Tchac have ever been in the semifinals of the EUCF. I'm not sure. I know they've been quarters a number of times.
I'm not sure that's something for the fans at home. We'll try and work it out. There's Rickards with the disc. Ridlow back out there. Great to see him back out. Seems to have not been able to play as much as he would have wanted. Herkins. That was beautiful. Sits down into the backhand. Schleur to Metzger. Metzger back across to Rogers. Rogers and Rickards. A little bit of that ladder give-go. We've seen Rogers do that all the way to gold in the past. Rickards doesn't want the throw to Schleur. Goes back to Rogers. Continues his moves. They just play a little bit of Dominator. And it works. 9-7.
Good stuff. Wall City staying within this one. They're going to need one break to get themselves that energy, but they're going to have to get those holds in first. And I love that they're not giving up. They are playing with fight. They're playing with grit. They are ready to keep in this game. And with some of the things that have gone wrong with them, you wouldn't be upset like to see them kind of get deflated a bit, but they are not deflated in any way.
They are buoyant.
I'm so excited. This matchup has been incredible.
It's been brilliant. I'm just surprised Tchac have been in charge the entire game. Like, they got the 2-point lead and they basically just held it.
Yeah, out of the the possibilities for this game, Wall City going up big and being in control the whole time, Tchac going up big, being in control the whole time, or it being a trading game, I would have thought that Tchac being up and in control the whole game would be the least likely of those three possibilities.
Agree. Wholeheartedly agree. And not just because I have certain prejudiced beliefs about the French. But also, yeah, a little bit. I mean, like, yeah, I mean, you live there, you know them.
But these are, A lot of people talk that mad about the French, but most people's interaction are with Parisians. And Parisians and the rest of France are different. They are different. And these guys are not from Paris. This is from Nantes. This is from a different city. I love all the other cities of France way more than love Paris. So
that's very fair.
this is not no good.
I think Paris does get a little bit of a bad rap sometimes. It's surprisingly affordable. But I'm just saying, you know, it's a city of love. But
Lorcan here
right
giving
now,
some shout out to the Paris tourist board.
Well, it's the city of love, but Pornichet, the city of intensity, based on the way these young men are playing. Le Lièvre says no to Stangenek, says yes to Bevignon. Bevignon still pivoting, just back and forth. Gets it to Forget. And Stangenek, and the cuts come from so deep on the under. Stangenek, he's ripped that one before. This one a bit too over.
That's just team defense from Wall City, applying pressure, forcing a bit of a tough throw. They were getting unders, but they had to work so hard for it. Really, a defender on their back every single time, and eventually the pressure causes that throwaway. Phenomenal team defense. That's just team athleticism defense. That wasn't really about like positioning properly, making switches. That was just putting pressure on your guy every single cut.
I do also think Tchac started to do that classic error of there's one part to my cut and it's me sprinting in one direction. Like that, Stangenek got free doing it, Forget got free doing it, but it's never a good sign to me.
Well, Phil Kay's had a couple of errors on the throwing side so far this game. Let's see if he can clean things up. Wall City starting in a host stack.
You can see the Tchac poach and forcing the difficult throw. I think they've kind of recognized what you've recognized, and they're trying to ratchet up the pressure on the D-line handlers.
Yeah, that was another throwing error from, I mean, it wasn't completely only on the throw, but another one from Kay.
Bonvenet immediately throws to Stangenek for the goal. Tchac hold shaky, but it stands 10-7.
And you don't like that one. You know, I could see Brian Jones walking over to assistant coach Christian Gaffney and saying, put in the regular D line. We're not putting a power line for this one. It would have been such a confidence boost if that line could have gotten a break for the whole team, and they just squandered that opportunity. The third time Kay has been in the throwing seat and given it back to the Tchac O-line.
So, kind of feels a little bit like Tchac got away with one.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they come back. They don't give you many chances. You've got to take them when they come, and that's how we describe elite teams. That's how we describe the top three, right? So if this is your application, we're opening the doors. Whoever wins this, welcome. It's now a top four in the continent.
And I think the difference between these two teams right now, and I think it's going to pay dividends to Tchac late in this game, Tchac's playing with their whole team. Wall City there, like I said, didn't get the break with their D-line. Their breaks have come only on power lines. And the question is, are they going to buy in and just let their top dogs play the rest of this game? Or are they going to try to win it as a team and trust the rest of the team? It's going to be very difficult coaching decisions from here on out to see if they can come back in this one.
I think a 10-7, like if a team gets to 11, like yeah, at that point it's like, nah, we're going hard. We're going all stars until we tie this back up. Then maybe we can give them a bit of a rest. But like, this is the end of the season.
I don't think you can give them a rest here.
Quarterfinals of the...
You give them a rest, Tchac coming right back into it. You got to decide. I'm just saying, I'm not saying what they have to do. I'm saying it's a tough job. I don't envy Brian Jones right now.
And I'm speculating just because that's basically my favorite thing to do. Metzger back to Rickards. Rickards swings it along. Herkins able to get it to Greenwald. Greenwald bouncing it back, and so frequently an option. Rickards just able to get onto the end of that one. Back to Greenwald. Can't continue across. Metzger can't get free downfield, so they're forced to go back. And now close on this sideline. Metzger. Schlur's trying to get free. That is some brilliant defense by Ruel. Conrad's making it a little easy for him, but there's the big shot all the way down. Can Ridlow chase it? He's pumping that leg, but it's just a bit too far. Another overthrow.
Another overthrow downwind. When Tchac did this earlier, they were able to get it right back in one throw. But I think Tchac's D-line has been playing much better offense than Wall City's D-line. It'll be a lot harder for them to get it back right now. See Mathieu Bosser there giving high fives to his team. They are playing this game as a team. Everybody's putting in work for Tchac. And I do think that's going to give them the edge at the end of this game. They're going to Wall City need some fire to come back.
Just going off how I feel, like when I see the non-stars of Wall City out there, instinctually my heart's just kind of like, uh-oh. Like, let's see how this goes. Whereas, like with Tchac, it's 2 defined lines with players rotating in and out of them.
Yeah, you don't feel that way about any of the players on Tchac.
I also feel very impressed with some of them. Oh, and there's the shot. Roger does not work out, so immediately giving it back. Those words a little crunchy for my taste, but I'll eat them.
Teams
Ridlow
exchanging first throw turnovers
back to Schleur.
on break chances.
And that one is collected by Rogers, who pops it off the Rickards for the goal. So 10-8. Wall City spared some blushes, and they're able to hold on.
Yeah, they're still in this one. That was a throwing error from Roger.
16 minutes left.
Yeah, we are back to 90 minutes. For those of you who were watching yesterday, maybe tuning in late here. The games were 80 minutes yesterday because of the tough conditions here. There's some wind, but we can play regular Ultimate now. Good at 90.
That's going to go... I don't know if this will make it to 15 then.
This has been a long game. I think they took half at like 60 minutes or so.
Just had a really fast start and then kind of slowed down briefly in around like the start of the second quarter of the match. But then picked up pace again with some very impressive Tchac plays. Both sides of the half. You can just see there's the miscommunication between Rickards and Schleur, and Rogers is like, thank you.
I like that little pop. That's very casual.
Rogers and Rickards, a few other people like Metzger's jumped in, Schleur's jumped in, Greenwald's jumped in at times, like really working that weave. So it's like Rogers has gone over to Wall City and been like, hey, you know how I won a European Championship? Why don't we do a little bit of that? Like, introduce it. Very
influential. The key thing of a team, an offensive line, is shifting it around the players you have. And if he's going to be a main centerpiece, they better do what works for him.
Bonvenet. There's the open-handed call. There's the huge shot under some pressure. Abita's down there trying to chase it. Gets it. What an incredible throw. There's going to be a pick.
There's something downfield.
Was that Diekman calling something? Anyway.
There's a pick called, and the question is, was anything involved?
I mean, that throw was so good. I don't know if, unless you were running directly in front of Abita, I don't know how you stop him getting that disc.
Let's see if we can see where the pick was generated. You see Diekman there calling the pick. I'm not sure about that one, but okay,
unless he can run.
He was running the other way.
Yeah, if he can run 10 miles an hour backwards.
It seemed almost like a blown switch pick, like one of them was trying to switch and got in the way of the other one, and I'm not the biggest fan of that. But anyways, let's see if they do it again.
That was an incredible throw. Bonvenet instead goes to Courtil. Courtil back to Bonvenet. Bonvenet's been incredible in this matchup so far. For Jay, Abida comes back under after a deep cut. Everyone at home take note. Bonvenet now looking to find Delal. Delal is in a lot of space. Really well disguised cut. Came right out of the pack and into the open field. Now waiting patiently, looking for the finish. Huge block! That was sensational. Probably going to be a turnover anyway, but let's mark that one down as a block.
No, they need that. Maybe it would have been turnover anyway, but they need energizing plays like this for the team. Just a bit of miscommunication there. You see the cutter going to one side, the throw comes off the other way, but either way, the block comes off. Huge opportunity here for Wall City.
So the call definitely heard the word Conrad there, as Rogers finds Conrad. Schleur launches it deep, sending it all the way down. He wants Kuhn, he gets him. 10-9.
Huge break for Wall City.
So really nicely done by Wall City. You know that they need these breaks. That's a brace. The only second time they've done so in the game. Closing it back down to 1, but really they need 2 to take the lead. Tchac in the driver's seat of this particular matchup, able to take their opportunities and generate them. That's just a set play. You could hear Rogers calling. I assume, in hindsight now, I imagine it was something along like Conrad to Stefan, but
I think he was just saying Conrad. I think it's just like, you got to take over right now. I know you're going to get free, and then maybe he did call the second cut, but it seemed to me the most important thing was Conrad, get open for me right now. I know I'll hit you wherever you go. And he ran to the break side there. He was being covered really well defensively, but he went over the break side. There we see the man, Conrad Schleur. And, you know, it's very easy as commentators to focus on stars in games, I think if Wall City is going to win this game, it's going to be on the back of some plays by Conrad. They're going to need their big boys to make some big plays. It's not going to be a whole team effort. That's just not what they are in this matchup. Depth-wise, Tchac is the better team. Can the Stars rise up in Berlin?
They're more than one star, but Conrad's going to have to lead that charge, definitely. He's going to have to stay out there a fair bit. As you can see them discussing matchups as Wall City try to pick the line that will tie this game back up. But not quite the same urgency as 2 points ago. So maybe now you can put out your more standard D-line a little bit. Try and blood them as Herkens the big pull.
Now they have crossed over Greenwald and Metzger though.
And it seems they've taken off K with Herkens coming over to, or making the pull.
But there are some D-line players like Garvey still out there. Richie Henricks as well.
Forget. Disc in hand, waiting for a move. I mean, Bonvenet has to just get free directly in front of him. Seems like that energy battle definitely going the way of the Germans right now. Until you see the kind of leading passes Bonvenet can just throw out there. Courtil. Back to Bonvenet. Bonvenet thinks about ripping when Metzger steps across just to try and flatten that out and dissuade the hook. The swing across to Courtil. Down the line, Stanganek to his knees. Able to catch the disc despite Lillemanton's going to his chest. There's going to be a pick, so Delal. This is Forget having a discussion. Greenwald and
Garvey's calling a pick. He was guarding Delal and coming through. Here we're going to see the replay. There's the layout bid, phenomenal effort. And here we're going to see where the pick was generated. See the cut there. Ned I think he was closely covering the person and people were in his way. That's a legit pick call. I don't really understand the argument.
So, the disc goes back to Stanganek.
It's a contested pick, which is one of those things where you're allowed to contest, but doesn't have any effect on the game. But you heard that I don't agree with you.
There you go, that's the important thing. I feel recognized in my dissension. And foul, Linneman stuns, accepts.
The intensity really ramping up for Wall City here. This is the energy they need. Tchac has looked flustered at this point for one of the few times this game offensively.
So it's down to like Bonvenet. Can he just settle down his forces and help them out of this situation? Lelivre, back to Bonvenet. Courtil goes to make a move. He is not getting free. So Schleur on Courtil. Here comes Delal. Oh, the shot just has to go up. The Stolka must have been getting pretty high. There's 4 Germans, 1 Frenchman, and it comes down in the white jersey. Stanganek is performing miracles on that end of the disc. Quick pop, doesn't get it right back. Looking for the finish. It's just outside. Forget goes back across to Courtil. Courtil tries to get it to Delal. He drags the foot, and it's a goal. 11-9.
What was that catch from Stanganek? He just keeps doing it. He was covered by like 70 black players, 70 black shirted players there. That was ridiculous for him to come down with that one. And it kind of came off the tip. He wasn't able to get it, but he tipped it, macked it to himself.
Just the tip.
Just the tip.
That's all he needed.
Great stuff there. And
there was legitimately
doing a great job putting a red zone defensive pressure on, even after getting disappointed there. But then the dump swing fundamentals in the red zone just working out for Tchac.
Like I said, their resetting has been brilliant all game long, and under their most pressure, yeah, okay, it goes to a little bit of a shaky boom it and see what happens, but they then keep the composure on the other side. I was almost expecting Stanganek to try and force that final pass in and for the turnover to occur there, but instead they go 2 up, and Delal hot stepping as we're going to take a quick step ourselves into a break. The score, Tchac 11, Wall City 9.
Il y a quelqu'un qui sort et on va au bout parce que putain des fois je me dis il y a des activités à se passer. Pareil quand on va au cutting. on évolue en fait. Donc c'est sûr que si vous comptez juste faire un petit mouvement facile et y aller, ça ne suffira pas. Pensez horizontalité, pensez verticalité. Et putain, on a de la qualité technique, on a du break, d'accord. Mais les breaks n'arriveront pas si vos cuts sont strictement verticaux. C'est très dur à attraper, très dur à lancer. Donc pensez à fluidifier votre ligne, communiquer par l'arrière, faire du V10, changer les angles. Et après les gars, on connaît plus.
Welcome back, everybody. The game is tight. The situation high stakes in the quarterfinals of EUCF 2024. Wall City currently 2 points down to Tchac, who have been in basically a 2-point lead for the majority of this game ever since they first went 2-0 up. I'm Lord Kamari, I'm joined by Ravi Vasudev. And Ravi, can you give us a quick update on the other quarterfinals in the Open Division?
Yes, the winner of this game, I believe, is now slated to face the Mooncatchers, who have now gone through 15-10 over Gentle. Clapham has won 15-8 over Krut, and will play against the winner of La Fota Chevron, which is now 12-10 in favor of the Bologneses.
I really thought Chevron would be able to take that game.
It's not over yet, Lorcan.
It's not over.
It's not over yet.
So plenty to play for, but all the action happening right now in front of your very eyes. Wall City and Tchac, two teams long in the tooth, but short on experience at the upper echelons of European. Ultimate Greenwald with the disc. He certainly looked level to the pressure. Ridlo, the Czech import. Herkens. Rickert says no to the first one, and that's a massive block! How did he hold on to it? Insane scenes. I think we all kind of expect the incredible from Simon Ruel, but I don't know if it's allowed to accept plays like that. He might have just snatched the heart out of the Germans.
Another scuba there for you, Lorcan.
Loving him, and it was the right call. I mean, it got to Lapagnol, right? One of the easier catches he's had to make today as well. And there's the backhand break over the top. Broussard goes to the break side again. They're just working this break side right now. Chestier back to Broussard. Broussard, this could be the dagger. We've got about 6 minutes left in the game and a 3-point gap. Roger fakes the scuba himself. Don't be afraid, Roger. Let that baby go. Broussard back to Roger. So they're happy to recycle. And this is where their strength has come from all tournament long. Or all game long, I should say. Roger, he's holding it in the scuba position. He's ready to rock it. Broussard looks to get the final throw in. Broussard goes over the top. It makes it to Roger. Just about. It's almost like he's threatening him with that scuba. And there goes Broussard to Roger. Immaculate. Taking a leaf out of the Rogers playbook. 12-9.
That is one nail in the coffin. Not the final nail, but that's a dagger. That's a dagger. That's a hard one. That amazing play, getting it for Ruel, doing it for his team, and then just phenomenal, patient offense. That's a D-line. It's a D-line playing offense like that. They took them a bunch of passes, but every pass was well cut for. Reset structure's amazing. Look at this play from Ruel, though. He just gets out there. And sometimes people yell like catch your D's on a layout block like that, and you're like, no, come on. He wasn't, there's no way anybody could catch that. And Ruel's showing, no, I got it, no problem. That's ridiculous. Play of the game so far, and then just Roger working for it, faking those scoopers every time he gets the disc.
So here, pinning between Rickards and Rogers, and honestly, I thought Broussard made a mistake, but that's why they are successful at this level, and I never was. Bravery to take on that throw.
Seeing the pack, like Ferdia, I think they blow the switch a little bit there, and Broussard just recognizes it, passes it directly in space. It's a phenomenal pass. Schlor's on the back of it, and the little body of Roger just able to collect it seemingly easily, even though he's surrounded by amazing Wall City defenders.
I think that's about the one square footage of that end zone where the disc had to go for him to be able to catch it. And that's exactly where it went. Really, really nice throw from Broussard, who is equal to the moment himself several times throughout this game. Helping lead them, so the penultimate nail in the coffin.
87 minutes on the clock. At 90, we will finish the point and add one. Wall City going to have to make a stand now. They're in a split stack.
Metzger. We've spoken earlier about how much they love this split stack. Lickert's down to Herkens.
Wind starting to pick up.
The Wall City cutters starting to cut each other off a little bit. Greenwald, he was in space. Get it to Rogers, not for much gain, but back into the middle of the pitch. Ricketts. Once Metzger goes with a big around to Ridlow. Ridlow right outside, doesn't throw it to Greenwald, instead the inside leading pass, and Metzger collects. Quick score, necessarily quick.
Absolutely. 12-10 now. They're still within this one, but it's running out of time, running out of space. We're probably going to get 1, maybe 2 more points left until cap.
I think with the way Tchac have been playing their offense so far, probably this next point will see us go to cap. Really nice continuation move. I thought Ridlow was going to try and take that backhand. Doesn't force it.
That's a beautiful shot.
Your flick breaks, they have to be early. Nice cut from Metzger as well. It just almost seemed to be getting a little bit clumpy for Wall City during that point, but they worked their way through it.
Yeah, they're tightening up. They're tightening up. It's hard being an O-line when you're down late in the game. A lot of pressure on you because if you give up one more break, it's basically out of reach. Within 2 still a game, but they need that first one. And they got to go crazy. They got to go absolutely bananas if they get a break and re-energize those star players because, like I said, this isn't going to be a team game win for Wall City. This is going to be on the back of some star plays.
I mean, we've been talking about how great Tchac have been, but they've also had some incredible star plays.
Yeah. If you've got a great team and some star plays, that's a pretty good combination.
That's one way to make it to the final anyway. It's these teams looking to book a semi-final berth. Bovenet walking to the brick mark, flanked as he has been all game long. Enzo Forget, Nimo Cortil.
Yes, yours!
Bovenet to Cortil, there's a call.
Yes! 90 minutes have gone off. We will finish this point and add 1.
Game to potentially 14 if Tchac can hold on offensively.
Wall City hoping it's a game to 13.
A lot of discussion. And again, much like earlier on, who do you think this favors? Like, Wall City need to keep the energy up.
Tchac, absolutely favors Tchac. Long discussions favor Tchac. Wall City got to let these things go, get up, and get amped up for some defense.
Bovenet immediately launching. He wants Delal all the way down there. Lillemanstons can only watch it sail by. Tchac 13, Wall City 10. Game to 14.
And the breeze was picking up there, Lorcan. That's a beautifully weighted throw, putting it exactly where only Delal can get to it. That's not easy. We've seen great throwers overthrow in this wind time and time again. Tchac just their throw. I mean, there's so many things impressive about their game, but their throwing has been definitely one of them.
It's been sensational throughout this match, and I include in that description the Scoober,
yes.
which I imagine you might not have. But so, like, I think it was Bovenet had that huck that wound up getting called back that was end zone to end zone. Yeah. That was incredible. I can't remember who threw it. The backhand that went all the way down the sideline as well.
Yeah.
For some reason I can only remember who dropped it and who threw it, so I'm not going to say that. But just some truly incredible deep shots by the French.
And then in addition to that, the way they're throwing their resets, throwing them hard, throwing them, zipping them, being used to catching.
Yes.
Like it's like the big plays are good, but also the fundamentals are good. Just throwing across the board has been phenomenal, which in this wind is difficult to achieve for a whole game. Tchac really doing it. Now it's 13-10, game to 14. Wall City got to turn it on, and they cannot turn it off.
It's living by the seaside, setting them up, but we got to find out, do Wall City have that dog in them? Tchac, this D-line has been impressive all game long. I wouldn't be surprised to see like Lepagnol pull out some insane sky, but we will see.
You back Lepagnol or Ruel? Who's going to get the block this time? Roble hasn't got a block yet. He's got one in him for sure.
We will see how it all plays out. That looks like Metzger's going to be the one picking up. Yeah, it's going to be Metzger. With the visor, Roger ready to mark up against him.
I'm offended that Roger's not taking the Rogers matchup just for the name thing.
I know, it's a lot of fun, but what can you do? I got to call that once. Rogers.
That was his brother.
Yeah. Same name, though. Rogers. Rickards gets the quick pop-off. Doesn't go with the continuation. Feel like it was there. Now that had snap on it. Wall City able to pump these flicks as well. Greenwald was looking to get it back off Rogers. It goes back instead to Rickards. Rogers. Rickards. Metzger comes back to try and help out, recognizing Rickards is really struggling to get free right now. Scuba over the top to a very free Rogers. That's why it's always the right call. Greenwald cuts directly in front of him. Rickards directly behind. Rickards now leads around to Metzger. Metzger just outside the end zone. Trying to find a way up. Rickards drops his shoulder, takes a step, and then throws the break for the score. 13-11.
That's the first step on the road to 14 points. They got the hold, got it to Schlor. But it's a tall ask. They've not gotten 2 breaks in a row yet, and they're going to need to get 3 now.
It's a long way to Tipperary. Are they capable of it? I mean, Wall City always seem to make it this far, right? And this is where they stumble.
Heidi stopped them a couple years ago.
Yep. That was ridiculous. In the quarterfinal, that was 2022, the year Ranelagh won. That was ridiculous. I called that game. I couldn't believe what I was watching as I was watching it. And look, Sontag is great, and Myers Bottling is one of the easiest people to throw to in the world. But still, that was ridiculous.
This one just has not been on the back of a couple players like Sontag, Myers Bottling. This is a team effort from Tchac. Ruel's played great. Cortiel's played great. You can just say any name on this side. Forget putting in work, grinding out there.
Well, even there's been a few of the defensive players who we haven't mentioned because obviously not really touched the disc too much, but have put in shifts, have been crucial parts of those. And like someone who's really stood out to me, I want to make sure I shout out Milad Chantron has been fantastic, picking up some tough assignments and just grinding them down.
The unsung heroes of this Tchac side.
We'll
Will they be singing their praises in the semifinal, or will Walsley mount a comeback? The crowd starting to build here. It will be Moon Catchers waiting to get the winner of this game. Tchac hopes it's the Francophone semi. Wall City hoping to make a stand.
Centered to the middle. Goes across Forget. Swings it around. It is held onto ever so slightly by the edges of the fingertips. Bonvenet. Forget calls for it. He receives. Forget looks to go back to Bonvenet. Doesn't like that option initially. Gets the pop back to him. And Bonvenet has had every throw necessary all game long. He's been incredible.
Tchac just looking comfortable right now. I know they haven't gotten too far, but they don't look flustered at all. They're so comfortable in their reset structure. It's been winning them this whole game.
Bonvenet to Delal. And then Delal leads down the line. I thought that might have been a turnover quickly, but Roblet was there. I just couldn't see him. Roblet goes back. Bonvenet. And now Bonvenet goes to the outside in flick. He's thrown them all game, and they just keep working.
That's it. That's all she wrote. Stanganek with another phenomenal catch to win the game. It's happened all game, Morgan. 14-11, Tchac did the upset, the 5 seed over the 4 seed, going to semis.
And you've got to say they deserved it. We've talked about the depth of their team. We've talked about the incredible effort, the way they've worked together. We talked about them winning the energy battle early. Their resets, I mean, that the resets is what I keep coming back to. There's been incredible throws, incredible grabs, huge display of team effort, team unity, and team reward. Of course, congratulations, you've made a semi-final. That's not when the tournament ends, Ravi.
But I do believe both these teams really gunning for that. Now they're in there, now they're going for it. I'm excited for this Mooncatchers Tchac semi. I don't know that Mooncatchers have really been tested yet, so can they stand up to it? This Tchac team looks solid, they look ready, and they're a whole team. That's hard to deal with.
It's hard to deal with, and I tell you what really stands out to me, because we saw the highlight plays. Like, yeah, Moon are going to put out some highlight plays too. You just got to be ready for that. Their strength comes from their consistency, and their confidence comes from their resets. Those are two things that will stand to you in any game ever. Of course, you want to keep watching all the top quality games. There's only one place to do it, and we still have all the semi-final action to come for you. In fact, coming up next, we have the 2 mixed semi-finals.
We got Tifsi Talker versus Tartu Turbulence, as well as Seskidistis versus Deep Space, both coming here on the full stream fields with full cameras, full commentary. you're going to want to be here.
So you want top quality action, there's only one place to see it, and that's right here with us, LGTV Solid Sport and the EUF. On behalf of myself, Lorcan Murray, our whole crew, and Ravi Vasudevan, we will see you next catch time. Same catch channel.